Alright, welcome back everyone. In this video, I will discuss what we can expect for Bitcoin and for the whole crypto market for the long term. I will discuss, of course, Bitcoin. I will discuss Ethereum. I will discuss altcoins. So a bit longer video today. So first of all, we start with Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is currently in a very interesting area. So of course we have seen this big dump towards the downside, and of course everyone is panicking right now because they think it's over for Bitcoin. But in my opinion, this is just a clean retest, of course, on the higher time frame. So we are currently at a very interesting support area, and that's just around the all-time high of 2021. So this is a big support area. So as you can see, it's actually this box over here. And we have still some downside what we can expect. So in my opinion, if we break the low you can see over here, that's just around that 55k level. And if we break that area, then we can go much lower. So for now, I expect that we can hold support around the lows over here. And we can maybe push back up. So once we break this lows over here, then we can expect some lower prices, and then the next area we are heading to is around that 40 to 44k level. So that's quite far. So for now we have to hold the lows over here, and we can just drop towards that 55k without any problems. So of course very interesting. What we can do also is just stay in this area for a longer period of time, and then we can just build up a bigger range, and of course that would be great as well. So then we can accumulate Bitcoin more and more, we can accumulate altcoins more and more, and then we can expect a more explosive push. So of course that's very nice to me. So yeah, this is actually Bitcoin on the weekly time frame. If we zoom in a bit, then we can go towards the daily time frame. And for the daily time frame, it's just very important to gain the starting point which brought us towards the low. And in this case, it's this candlestick over here. You can see the green one. So this is for now the level to gain. And if we gain this one, then we can rotate the whole trend, and then we can see much higher prices for Bitcoin. So we have to wait patiently to gain this level. Of course, if we make a lower low, so if we break this low and we go a bit lower, then the starting point which brought us towards this low will change. So for example, if we drop towards the downside, then this box, then this isn't the starting point of the low anymore. Then this one will change towards, for example, over here. So then we want to gain that area before we can go back up. So the daily is very important to look at. So of course the higher time frame is leading. So first of all we have to look at the weekly. At the weekly we are currently at major support, and in that area we want to look for a shift of the trend so that we can go back up. So that's what we want to see before we can open big longs and before we can open a new altcoin position. So yeah, actually this is Bitcoin. This is the most important things to look at for Bitcoin. So then we move on to Ethereum. So this is Ethereum on the weekly time frame, and also Ethereum made a big jump towards the downside. And for now we have to hold this low over here. So for now also Ethereum can drop a bit lower. Of course, Ethereum will follow Bitcoin, and then we can expect Ethereum at $1,500. And that's the low over here, and we have to hold that low as well. So we have also some double support confirmation. So that's around, yeah, actually this spot over here. That will be a very nice area for a DCA. So to add something on your position. Of course, double support, of course, on the weekly time frame. So this is what we can expect for Ethereum. If we have a look at the total tree, then it becomes very interesting. So the total tree is the total market cap excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. So this is actually all the altcoins they are in the market. So as you can see, we have lost the low over here. And then we can expect a drop towards the next area. And the next area is all the way down over here. So if we enter this area and Bitcoin is also finding support around that 55k level, then it becomes very, very interesting to invest in altcoins. So then we have a double confirmation. So then we have the confirmation that Bitcoin is on support. Then we have the confirmation that the total tree is on support. So that could become a very interesting area to get new positions in altcoins. Of course, it becomes very interesting if Bitcoin is gaining the daily. So you have to be aware of that. Bitcoin is always the leading coin in crypto. So if Bitcoin is shifting the trend, so Bitcoin is going from a downtrend towards an uptrend, then we can expect that altcoins are going to push as well. So you have to be sharp on that, because if Bitcoin is pushing like a 10%, then altcoins can push like a 20 or 30%. So that's very interesting, and if you do it on the right way, you can make so much money on it. So these are the charts that are very important. So the total tree, of course, for the altcoins, we have to look at Ethereum. Of course, Ethereum is the leading altcoin, it's the biggest altcoin in there. So after Bitcoin, we have to look at Ethereum. And if Ethereum is also at support, then we can have a look at the total tree. And if that one is also on support as well, and Bitcoin is shifting the trend, then it's very, very interesting for altcoins. I also want to have a look at the USDT dominance. So this is the USDT dominance, and this means that this is actually the market cap of the US Tether. So you can see it like this. If you are in Bitcoin and you are selling your Bitcoin, then you get USDT. So if you have USDT, this chart will rise. So currently we are at resistance, so we can expect a drop towards the downside. So if this one is dropping, then people are going out of the USDT and buy assets. So they will buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other altcoins. So what we want to see is that Bitcoin is on support, that we want to see that Ethereum is on support, and we want to see that the total tree is on support. And if the USDT dominance is at resistance, then we have more and more confirmation to enter the markets. So if you combine all of these charts, then you have the right confirmation that you can enter. Very, very important, but you have to be patient for it. So that was an overview of the long-term market. So for what we can expect, I hope that you have learned something about it. If you have any questions, of course, you can ask them in the question channel, and then I would like to see you in the next video. So good luck with it, and thank you all for watching. Ciao, ciao.